So what is the regulation by GCA? This is a very important concept for the control of kidney. So ADH also constricts the afferent renal arteriole and increase the blood pressure on the other hand to maintain the GFR. So an excessive loss of body fluid activates the osmoreceptors of hypothalamus atrial natriuretic factor. It is called natriuretic factor. So this is acted upon by aldosterone and ADH. Hello everyone, welcome back to session 6 of this chapter 19 of your syllabus called Excretory Products and Their Elimination. Myself, B. Shobha Rani from the Department of Biology, Vidyashram Pre-University College, the Temple of Excellence. So moving on to the remaining concepts of this wonderful chapter and a very important physiological process in human called excretion. So next concept that we are going to study in this session is the regulation of kidney function. All of us know how important the functioning of kidney is. So how is it regulated? So how is the functioning of kidney regulated? There is somebody to control or to regulate the functioning of kidney. Now let us understand the regulation of the kidney function. So regulation by ADH. Already we have come across in the last session. Also in the last session we studied the differences between diabetes mellitus and diabetes insipidus. Where diabetes insipidus, which is also called as water diuresis, is very much regulated by ADH. So ADH is nothing but the antidiuretic hormone or vasopressin, which is produced by the hypothalamus but received by the posterior lobe of pituitary. So posterior lobe of pituitary does not produce the hormones of its own kind. Instead, it receives the hormones of the hypothalamus. Hence, ADH is called as a neurohormone. Another hormone that is called neurohormone is oxytocin, which is otherwise called birth hormone. So, ADH is a neurohormone. Why it is called as a neurohormone? Because it is not produced by the posterior lobe of pituitary. Instead, it just receives the hormone from the hypothalamus. Now, let us understand the regulation of ADH. So, the regulation of the kidney function by ADH. Osmoreceptors present in the hypothalamus are activated by the change of blood volume, body fluid volume, and ionic concentration. So, as we know, the hypothalamus produces the ADH. ADH is also called as what? ADH, or it is also called as vasopressin, which is produced by hypothalamus. Produced by hypothalamus but received by the posterior lobe of pituitary. Posterior lobe of pituitary. So, osmoreceptors present in the hypothalamus. How is ADH released by the hypothalamus then? The osmoreceptors present in the hypothalamus are activated by the change of blood volume. For example, as I said, if the urine that is produced is having more water, it is more dilute urine, then that is body volume, body fluid volume and ionic constant. So, an excessive loss of body fluid activates the osmoreceptors of hypothalamus to release antidiuretic hormone ADH or vasopressin from the neurohypophysis. So, if at all if excess of water is eliminated through urine, then immediately the osmoreceptors of hypothalamus will release ADH. So this ADH will absorb will control the elimination of excess of water from the urine and thereby avoiding water diuresis. Hence it is called what? Anti means against. Diuresis means excess of elimination of water through urine. So regulation of kidney function, let us understand the role played by ADH in regulating the kidney function. So here you can see in this beautiful picture the glomerular basement, Bowman's capsule, proximal convoluted tubule, distal convoluted tubule, right? See the mechanism that is involved. So osmoreceptors present in the hypothalamus are activated by the change of blood volume, body fluid volume and ionic concentration. So an excessive loss of body fluid activates the osmoreceptors of hypothalamus to release antidiuretic hormone or vasopressin from the neurohypophysis. Then ADH facilitates active reabsorption of water from the PCT, preventing diuresis. See how ADH is controlling the elimination of excess of water from the primary urine from the primary urine. So ADH facilitates active reabsorption of water from the PCT. So when the glomerular filtrate, that is the primary urine that is formed in the renal corpuscle, passes through the PCT, that is the tubular part of the nephron, that is proximal convoluted tubule, then it will so ADH will help in active reabsorption of water from the PCT, preventing what? Diuresis. So the primary urine will not contain excess of water. Then an increase in the body fluid volume can switch off the osmoreceptors and suppress the release of ADH, promoting dilute urine formation. So see, this is like, hyper and hyposecretion. So an increase in body fluid volume can switch off the osmoreceptors and suppress the release of ADH, promoting dilute urine formation. ADH also constricts the afferent renal arteriole increase the blood pressure in the other hand to maintain the glomerular filtrate. GFR stands for glomerular filtrate rate. So it is called glomerular filtrate rate. So ADH facilitates active reabsorption of water from the PCT, preventing diuresis. So an increase in body fluid volume can switch off the osmoreceptors and suppress the release of ADH, promoting dilute urine formation. So ADH also constricts the afferent renal arteriole and increase the blood pressure on the other hand to maintain the GFR. Then regulation by JCA, very important concept from this particular chapter called excretory products and their elimination. So regulation by JCA, that is juxtaglomerulus apparatus. A fail in glomerular blood flow, glomerular blood pressure, GFR can activate the juxtaglomerular cells to release renin. So a fail in glomerular blood flow, glomerular blood pressure, the glomerular filtrate rate can activate the juxtaglomerular cells to release the renin. So renin converts angiotensinogen in blood to angiotensin 1 and further to angiotensin 2. So in the coming slide, I will show you all how it regulates. So here you can see the juxtamedullary apparatus, right? So this particular part is called as what? Juxtamedullary apparatus. So here you can see how the afferent arteriole, glomerulus, podocytes, then the distal tubule, afferent arteriole, and the glomerular capillary blood pressure, net filtration pressure, how it is able to regulate. So angiotensin 2 constricts afferent renal arteriole to increase glomerular blood pressure and thereby GFR. So a fail in, so what is the regulation by JCA? This is a very important concept for the control of kidney function. So a fail in glomerular blood flow or glomerular blood pressure, GFR rate can activate the glomerular cells to release what? Renin. So this renin converts angiotensinogen in blood to angiotensin 1 and further to angiotensin 2. So when there is a fall in glomerular blood flow or the glomerular blood pressure, so obviously the GFR can activate the juxtaglomerular cells to release what? Renin. And this renin converts angiotensinogen in blood to angiotensin 1 and further to angiotensin 2. So this angiotensin 2 constricts afferent renal arteriole to increase the glomerular blood pressure and thereby GFR. So you can understand this mechanism, which is otherwise called RAS, renin-angiotensin system. So you'll understand this particular mechanism in the coming slide. Then Angiotensin 2 also stimulates adrenal cortex to release aldosterone. So adrenal cortex, as we know, adrenal gland is a gland which is found above the kidney. So this is called the adrenal gland. Adrenal means, which is, as we know, kidney is otherwise called renal gland. So as it is found above the kidney, it is called adrenal gland. And this adrenal gland has two very important parts called outer cortex and inner medulla. So the adrenal cortex releases a hormone called aldosterone. So this aldosterone causes active reabsorption of sodium and water from the distal part of the tubule, that is from DCT. This increases in blood volume as well as glomerular filtrate rate. So this will increase in blood volume and as well as GFR. So this complex mechanism is called RAS, as I said, renin, angiotensin, aldosterone system. Right. So angiotensin 2 also stimulates adrenal cortex to release what? Aldosterone. So aldosterone causes what? Active reabsorption of sodium and water from the distal part of the tubule, and this increase in blood volume and GFR. So this complex mechanism is called as what? RAS. What do you mean by RAS? Renin, angiotensin, aldosterone system. So regulation by ANF. What is ANF? Atrial natriuretic factor. It is called natriuretic factor. So an increase, so even there is a control even by ANF. So the kidney function is also regulated by ANF. So an increase in blood flow to the atria, so of the heart, due to RAS, cause the release of atrial natriuretic factor. So as we know, even heart also produces what? ANF. So then ANF can cause vasodilation. What do you mean by vasodilation? So that is the expansion of the arteriole, particularly the afferent renal arteriole. Expansion. Dilate means what? Dilating means expansion. So thereby decrease the blood pressure. So if it is more narrow, more pressure. So ANF can cause vasodilation of the afferent renal arteriole and thereby decrease the blood pressure. ANF also stops the release of renin, hence stops RAS. So here, so even ANF also is involved in controlling, regulating the kidney function. So increase in blood flow to the artery of the heart due to RAS causes the release of atrial natriuretic factor, ANF, and ANF can cause vasodilation of the afferent renal arteriole and thereby decrease the blood pressure. So ANF also stops the release of renin, hence stops what? RAS. So here you can see angiotensin, that is renin, will convert so as the renin angiotensin aldosterone system increases blood volume and pressure. So renin will act on convert angiotensin into angiotensin 1, angiotensin 1 into angiotensin 2, and direct effects what? Causes arteries to constrict, resulting in an increase in blood pressure, decreases glomerular filtration rate, resulting in water retention, increases thirst. So this is acted upon by aldosterone and ADH. So aldosterone causes what? Nephron, distal tubules to reabsorb more sodium and water, which increases blood volume. ADH mediates insertion of aquaporins, which are called as they are nothing but called protein channels, so into nephron collecting duct cells. As a result, more water is reabsorbed into the blood, causes arteries to constrict. So ADH, as we said, ADH is made in the hypothalamus and released by the posterior. So produced by the hypothalamus but released because it is received by the posterior lobe of the pituitary, so it is released by the posterior pituitary. So renin is produced by the kidney. Then aldosterone is produced by the adrenal glands. Angiotensin is made by the liver. So angiotensin, renin converts angiotensin into angiotensin 1, triggers release of other hormones, angiotensin 1 into angiotensin 2. Then it is acted upon by aldosterone and ADH. Aldosterone causes nephron distal tubules to reabsorb more sodium and water, which increases blood volume. ADH mediates insertion of aquaporins into nephron collecting duct cells. As a result, more water is reabsorbed into the blood, causes arteries to constrict. So here you can see ADH ADH is made by the hypothalamus but received by the posterior lobe of the pituitary, and it is released by the neurohypophysis or the posterior lobe of pituitary. Hence, it is called as neurohormone. So, renin is produced by the kidney. Aldosterone, it is produced by the adrenal gland. Then, angiotensin is made by the liver. Hope you have understood the concepts what I have explained here. This is a very important mechanism how the kidney function is regulated either by the juxtaglomerular by JCA, how it is controlled by JCA, and also what is the role of ADH, and also the mechanism that is involved in the regulation of the kidney function. So I'll be back in the coming session with some more interesting concepts of this particular chapter called excretory products and their elimination. Till then, goodbye and thank you.